Hey everybody, it's Ofoya. I just wanted to make a video about some of the top 5 mistakes I see Mizuki mains make. This is going to go from some of the easiest mistakes, most common mistakes I may see, to some of the mistakes that people just may not even be aware that they're making. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right into number 1. The first is that you may not know when to use your abilities or what ability interactions there may be. Specifically, I think this is if you don't know when something will land, like his chain or healing Casa. So this one is simple but common. I see a lot of people are unaware about how specifically healing Casa can interact with the environment. The important thing to remember is just that none of Mizuki's abilities can be mitigated unless it's a barrier. What I mean by this is you can chain through Diva Matrix, you can chain through Sigma Kinetic Grasp, and healing Casa can go through these as well, and that can go through shields. So chain cannot, but healing Casa can go through shields. So if your team is in a Winston bubble or a Malga cage, your healing Casa can still lock onto a Winston, and they can still lock onto anybody within the bubble and will heal them. Also, this means if your Winston jumps away, you can still throw it as long as it gives you the indicator, and it will always heal him no matter how far he goes. That's simple, but it's something I see people hesitate on or just miss out on value because they don't know how it interacts with other heroes in the environment. So number 2, ult usage. Counter ults, burst heals with ults. You can negate other ults using yours. I would say ult usage is incredibly important because this can negate many ults. Any ult that Diva can eat, Mizuki can do better. One example is Kiri. If she uses Kitsune and I drop my ult to burst heal and negate projectiles into my team, it can be incredibly valuable. And although it's been reduced to only 6 seconds, that takes up a large amount of time, especially after a Kiri ult has been dropped. Another example might be Window from BAP. If we're on the end of first point in Circuit Royale and he windows on high ground, I can ult on points to protect my team and heal them while they are safe on point. Or even something like a hazard ult. Diva can only really protect herself or if someone's in front of her during that. But I'll show a clip where I negate a hazard ult downpour on multiple teammates and myself. While the utility of the ult is its greatest strength, the initial burst healing and continued healing throughout the ult is fantastic for any fight. Mizuki ult was also buffed to negate projectiles leaving and entering the ult, and while they reduced the healing and duration by a little bit, the utility definitely makes up for this. So you can kind of do the bubble dancing, where you go in and out of it if somebody is trying to do the same with you and deal damage. So number 3 is just wrong perks. I definitely will ramble a little bit more about this, but all perks have some nuance, but some clear uses. This is less common, but I see too many people pick the chain perk. 2 seconds after chain attach is barely enough time to get one shot off, and it's only 30% bonus damage. Meanwhile, you can chain a Diva, but she can still defense matrix your Spirit Glaives afterwards, so you may not even get value out of it, especially on those valuable chains. So not even to mention, this damage amp is only for Mizuki. While Wellspring is not something to write home about, I find it gives peace of mind knowing if I throw a few healing Casa, each ally healed will increase my aura by an additional 3.75 per hat. In terms of the major perks, a lot of people do not understand Resonant Return. Healing goes from 90, 70, 50 each bounce with 30 self-healing to 100, 90, 80, 70, and healing yourself for a max of 70 self-healing. And thanks for Kajor for this information, which was super helpful. I did not know that before he made a guide a few months ago. Super useful. And although the extra healing is only if your hat hits 4 people, which it may not, there still is that slight additional extra healing, which you may need depending on your team. So this increases healing Casa further and creates more aura as well. That will also help if you're struggling with aura generation, I suppose. But in all honesty, the healing isn't always needed, and the 25% speed is great for his already existing team synergy. With the buffs extending it by a second and reducing the cooldown, this means that you can have the team spend way more time in that speed way more often. Pros already picked this and preferred it before the buffs, but now it makes it even better. So you might not win fights just off of raw healing and output, but that utility of the speed will help you kite ults and have better matchups. But at the end of the day, all perks are map and match dependent, so just keep that in mind. If you're comfortable with one perk over the other, there's always some safe picks. Those major perks, you really can't go wrong with either one, but I think the speed is much better. Number 4 is that you aren't shooting shields. Not bubbles, but shields. Very few people I see ever know this, but shields generate aura and prevent decay. This doesn't generate very much aura at all for Mizuki, but helps greatly in preventing decay. It's important to keep aura up to prevent low healing during the opening of fights and allow more aggression. This means Domina Shield, Winston Bubble, Sigma Barrier. Any barrier turrets like Symmetra and Torb will help build aura. And you can shoot bubbles to generate aura, but I don't suggest overfeeding into Zarya's energy, and I would just wait it out. I also don't suggest utilizing this too much, as being reliant on it during the fight means that you might not be directing damage to the right places. It takes 6 seconds for decay to begin, which in the middle of the fight means you probably don't have to worry, since you'll be almost certainly throwing out your healing Casa and dealing damage within those 6 seconds. Even if you don't worry about decay, since you still have quite a bit of time before it gets back to base healing. And healing Casa is only 6 seconds, I believe. So you should just be able to, every 6 seconds, just throw a healing Casa in the middle of a fight, if for some reason you can't get your aura back up. And then, last but not least, is just simply not using Katashiro Return correctly. It's probably what will get you killed the most and what will cause you to lose out on high value plays. It got recently buffed, like I said previously. The duration is increased by 1 second and the cooldown reduced by 1 second. Paired with that quick-step Major Perk for team play, it's already existing speed boost for Mizuki. This ability provides crazy team mobility and personal mobility. There are multiple great uses to this ability. One is just using it from high ground to low ground, dropping down for kills or a good chain, and then returning to the high ground position. One I use a lot is just simply place my paper doll behind a wall and dash out to chain someone, get more aura, or finish them off, and then just return to cover behind that. While I'm behind cover, I can refresh my cooldowns or throw my healing Casa without aura. The cooldown is high at 11 seconds, but this can be partially negated due to the cooldown starting when you first dash. So by the time you return, the cooldown's really only at 7 seconds. So that's it for my top mistakes you may be making with Mizuki, but tell me if I missed something or even if you learned something new. I'm enjoying his mobility and utility and would love to learn more. If you enjoyed, I would appreciate a like and sub, and have a great day.